Hi folks, how you doing? Welcome to the heart of cycling. I'm Richard, and look, I've got a wee story to tell about my love for cycling, what it means to me, and how it's helped me to recover and regain my fitness after a near-death experience just about a year ago when I had a cardiac arrest. One of these moments in life where you're like, holy shit, what has happened? And what is happening? And what is the road back to fitness? So I just wanted to share some of that with you. So I'm just getting out of the city, escaping the worst of the traffic, heading south out of Glasgow. And I'll find a quiet spot to stop and tell you a wee bit more about my story and what cycling has meant to me in the past year, and actually for most of my life. I was just thinking, I'm heading out today on the Old Mearns Road, which is a road I used to cycle as a kid. Adventures up to farms out the back of Mearns and Eaglesham, and even further afield, cycling down to Ayr during the summer, down the old A77. Can you believe it? Absolutely crazy to do that. Anyway, I'm still cycling the same road and I'm knocking on 60. So, just delighted to be out. Delighted that the legs are turning and that the heart is beating. Got a lot to be grateful for. Finally up the far end of the Old Mearns Road, away from the traffic. Bit of a slog getting up here, but you know, once you're here, the roads really open up. It's dead quiet, and the cycling is absolutely tremendous. It really is. And there's even a wee bit of blue sky poking through there, so that's okay. So I was at the top of the Old Mearns Road, just about to join the cycle path on the old A77. So thankfully the road a million times safer than it used to be, and you can stick to the path a good way down towards Fenwick. I found a wee spot. It's the Blacklock Road. Leads just off the old Mearns, the A77, the old A77, and it's another road I used to cycle a lot when I was a kid. And it's like the back of beyond, so it's magic, nice and peaceful. I'm out the wind a wee bit. So I thought I would just explain a wee bit more about my channel and why I'm doing it. And it really goes back to just over a year ago. Like I said, I had a cardiac arrest, which almost killed me, and it would have if it hadn't been for the prompt actions of my incredible, lovely, amazing wife, who found me lying in bed, effectively dead at that point. I don't know how long I'd been lying there, but in a cardiac arrest, obviously, every minute is crucial, and I was already blue, so I was probably on my way out, really. But she leapt into action, and thankfully she knew how to do CPR, and she phoned the emergency services, and she set to work doing CPR and kept me alive until the paramedics turned up. And thankfully they only took about 10 minutes apparently. I should say I don't know anything about this. I've got no memory of it whatsoever. It's all been blanked from my brain. Even before it happened. I've got no memory of that. I had no pain, I had no indication that there was anything wrong whatsoever. In fact, we'd been planning an active day out. We were going to go up and climb a hill up in the Auricher Alps and go for a nice lunch at the Loch Fyne oyster bar afterwards. So apparently I'd been chatting about that and excited about the day ahead. Then things took a bit of a turn. So the paramedics shocked me back into life with their defibrillator, and I was rushed by ambulance to the Golden Jubilee Hospital over in Clydebank, which specialises in heart health. And I was put into an induced coma for almost 3 days, I think it was. And no one really knew what the outcome was going to be at that point, certainly not my wife. But your chances of surviving an out-of-hospital cardiac arrest are not very good. They're about maybe a wee bit less than 1 in 10 by most accounts. But then even when I was in my coma, the specialist said to my wife that I might have a 40% chance of coming out of that in one piece. So my chances were improving, but they still weren't brilliant. So, I mean, I could talk a lot more about this, but I'll maybe save it for another time. Anyway, I did come out of the coma in one piece, and I spent almost 3 weeks in total in hospital before I was discharged with a stent and with a defibrillator pacemaker device implanted in my chest. And the pacemaker works all the time, basically, to keep your heart regular. And the defibrillator is there as a backup in case anything ever happens again that needs to jumpstart your heart. So I made it out of hospital, and last summer I spent most of the summer rehabilitating and recovering. And my cardiac rehab classes at the New Victoria Hospital were just so important in terms of giving me the confidence to start exercising again and kind of finding my limits and getting really good advice from the team there. Jagjit, Hilary and William were just amazing to kind of give you the guidance and really give you the confidence to start doing the things you want to do again. And for me, the thing I wanted to do more than anything was cycle. That's always been a passion, and that's what I wanted to get back to. So that was my goal, and I'd already booked a trip to Mallorca in September, a cycling holiday. And I said to the team, the cardiac rehab team, that that's what I wanted to do. And this must have been in June. They said, there's no reason why you can't be over in Mallorca on the bike. So that was a target for me, and I'm delighted that I made it to Mallorca, and I had a brilliant week on the bike. And it's just been all good since then. You know, I've been loving my cycling and just so thankful to be able to go out and do this sport for the physical benefits and for the mental benefits. It's really meant so much to me. So I'm busier than ever with cycling this year. I'm building up to a bit of an adventure late in 2026, which I'll talk about another time. But, you know, I'm trying to get the miles in the legs and trying to feel good. And I thought, well, why not share a wee bit of my story and start capturing some of my rides, talking about heart health, talking about some of the things that I've learnt, which I've benefited from since my cardiac event last year. So that's what I'm going to do, and hopefully there's people out there that might be interested in it. Like any other YouTube channel that you enjoy, I'd really appreciate your input, your comments, like and subscribe for a new channel. I think that's always going to mean a lot. So welcome to the heart of cycling, and hope we can get some good rides in, and yeah, just enjoy our sport. Anyway, time to wrap up. I'm starting to haver, and what's the time? It's almost 5. So I'm just going to head along the end of the Blacklock Road and back down the Old Stewarton Road for home. Here's all the way to Arran. There's a Craig. Now the fun bit, back down towards Newton Mearns. Also a magic stretch of road, and it's usually how we end our club runs, with a nice wee sprint before we regroup at the Mallet Shook. Brilliant. So I think you can see how much I love my cycling and how grateful I am to be able to do it when a year ago it looked like that might not happen again. But we've only got one life to live. Gotta get out there and do it. Home. Just a short spin to introduce myself. Some of you who are watching might know me already, but others, nice to meet you, and thanks for tuning in. I hope to do at least weekly uploads, you know, just different things that are going on. So do subscribe to be notified of any new videos, and give us a wee thumbs up as well. And all the best. See you soon.